Hello everyone. In today's class we will continue with the topic operators. In last class we have learnt the various different types of operators. So we shall continue with the topic. We have also looked into bitwise operators in the last video lecture. Today we will solve some more examples so as to know all the bitwise operators better. The first bitwise operator is bitwise AND. The second is bitwise OR. The third is bitwise exclusive OR. The next is shift left. The next is bitwise shift right, and the last one is bitwise complement. So let's see each of them. So first one is bitwise OR. So let's take an example. A is having a value of 4 and B is having a value of 5. If A is 4 and B is 5, and suppose we have to perform A bitwise OR B, then this is how we would write. This is the way we would write a bitwise OR operator. How would we perform this? First of all, since A is 4, that is the decimal value 4, and B is 5, but it is decimal value 5. So first step is to convert the decimal values into binary values. So A is 4 and 4 in binary is 0, 1, 0, 0. And B, which is 5, in binary is 0, 1, 0, 1. So let's perform a bitwise OR on this. So 0 and 1 gives us a 1. 0 or 0 is 0. 1 or 1 is 1. And 0 or 0 is 0. So this is what we get. The final result is 0, 1, 0, 1. Now we have to convert this into a decimal value. Since this is in binary, we have to convert it into decimal value. So after converting into decimal value, we would get 5, because 0, 1, 0, 1, as you see in the chart, it is actually a representation of 5. So this was how bitwise OR is conducted. Let's go to the next type of operator, which is bitwise exclusive OR. The bitwise exclusive OR, there is a mistake over here. It is represented in this format. So the bitwise exclusive OR, you see over here, the operator for the same is in this ways. It's a caret symbol. This is the truth table which I have placed over here for you all to refer. So the difference between exclusive OR and OR is this case where it is 1 or 1. So in an exclusive OR, 1 or 1 is 0. That is the only difference. Rest all the cases remain the same. So let's solve one example. Say we have A exclusive OR B, where A value is 7 and B value is 5. Now decimal 7, let's convert into binary value. So decimal 7 in binary value, as you see in the chart, is 0, 1, 1, 1. And the decimal 5, let's convert into binary. It will be 0, 1, 0, 1. So let's place it over here. After we perform the bitwise exclusive OR for these two decimal numbers converted into binary values, we get 1 exclusive OR 1 is 0. Refer to the chart. 1 exclusive OR 0 is 1. 1 exclusive OR 1 is 0. And 0 exclusive OR 0 is 0. So this is the binary value, binary answer, result. Let's convert into decimal. So this is representation of decimal 2. So the answer in decimal is 2. So this was bitwise exclusive OR. Let's go on to the next type of operator, which is bitwise complement. So bitwise complement is represented by this tilde sign. And let's take one example. You see over here, A is equal to 6. So A is 6. And you have to perform the bitwise complement of 6. So let's write down first of all in binary what 6 is. So in binary 6 is 0, 1, 1, 0. So when we have to perform a complement, bitwise complement of this will be 0, 1, 1, 0 complement. So after performing complement, what do we get? Basically, I have mentioned you previously also, a complement is nothing but you perform just the opposite, or you something called as negation. You negate the bits. So 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes a 0. So this 0 will become 1 in the result. This 1 will become 0. This 1 will become again 0. And this 0 will become 1. So this is the result. This is the answer you get after performing a bitwise complement. And this is the representation of the binary, the decimal value 9. Hence the answer is 9. So this is how bitwise complement is performed. Let's go on to the next operation and the next operator. The next is bitwise right shift operator. So let's take this example. A is 4 and B is 5. Now the right shift operator is denoted in this ways. There are two angle brackets. The direction determines whether it is left shift or right shift. Like this direction is right shift. So this is the variable on whom you want to perform the operation. The variable is also called as an operand. And this is how many places you want to shift the bits. Okay, so let's take an example. A is 4. So in binary 4 is 0, 1, 0, 0. So let's perform a right shift on 0, 1, 0, 0. And how many places we have to perform the shift? 2 places. By 2 places we have to do the shifting, bitwise shifting. So let's do first. What happens is this 0 is shifted to here, 1 is shifted to here, and this 0 is shifted to here. So let's shift one by one. So 1 is shifted to this place. So hence here you will get 1. This 0 is shifted here, so you will get a 0. This 0 comes over here in place of 1, hence this 0. Now this place you see empty, this will be a 0 insertion place. So whichever place is empty spot, you append a 0 in that particular slot. It might be on the left hand side or it might be on the right hand side. So this is how a right shift happens, bitwise right shift. Now this was only one decimal place, only one place of shift happening. We'll perform another place of shifting. So this 1 will be shifted to the last spot. So 1 will be shifted here. 0 will come in this place of 1. So 0. This 0 will come over here in the second place. And you'll again see there is one empty spot in the first place. So that you will insert a 0 again. So this was how you would perform a bitwise right shift. So after we shift it, we convert it into a decimal value. What is the decimal value for this? 1. You can see in the chart, this is representation of 1. Let's do a bitwise right shift on the number or the variable b. So the operand is b, you see over here. This is how you write right shift operator. And how many positions we have to shift? We have to shift by 2 positions. So first of all, we'll write what b is in terms of binary. So it is 0 1 0 1 because b is actually 5. So 5 in binary is 0 1 0 1. So let's shift it. First we'll shift 1 position, then we'll shift the second position. So this 1, what you see, is lost because once you are doing the shifting towards the right, it is lost. Okay, so b is lost, and this 0 will come in place of, not b is lost, sorry, 1 is lost, and this 0 comes in the place of this 1. So you will get a 0. Now this 1 is shifted over here, so you get 1. This 0 is shifted over here, so you get 0. Now you again see the first place is empty. So because it is an empty spot, you have to insert a 0 over here. So this is what you would get after doing 1 place of shifting. Now let's do the second place of shifting. You will get, this will be shifted over here. So 1 in the first place, 0 shifted over here, so 0 over here, then this 0 shifted over here, so you get a 0 over here, and again you see there is an empty spot, so this empty spot will be filled by a 0. So this is what you would get as a result in the end. So what does this particular this particular binary number represent in decimal? It will be a 1. So this is how you would perform a bitwise right shift. Let's go to the next type, which is bitwise left shift. Okay, so there is one example over here, a bitwise left shift operator, you see. So you have to shift this particular operand by 1 position. Okay, so A is holding a value of 4. So 4 in binary is 0 1 0 0. Okay, so when we have to shift it towards the left, okay, the direction now is left, so this will go over here, hence 1 will take the first position, 0 will come over here, so 0, and this will come over here, 0 again, and you see last spot will be empty. So in this empty spot you have to put a 0. So this is what you would get after performing bitwise left shift on the operand A. So what does this binary value represent in decimal? 1000 is actually 8. So the result is 8. Now you have seen over here we are performing only one shift because you have to perform only one position shift. That's it. So this was it about bitwise left shift operator. Let's go to the next type of operator. The next type of operator is special operators. So in special operators, the first type of operator is comma operator. So it is nothing but a comma which you see over here. This is just a comma which is to be used. Now what is the use of comma operator? It is used to link some kind of related operations together. Okay. Now there is one example which you see over here on your screen. Value equal to, there is a bracket, x equal to 10, y equal to 5, comma x plus y. Now you have to remember that these expressions are evaluated from left to right. So it's always from left to right, the direction of operation. And you have to remember that the value of the rightmost expression is the value of the entire expression. What I mean by that is, in this case, this particular expression will be evaluated from starting from here. So x will be assigned a value of 10 first. Then there's a comma. So you continue. Y will be assigned a value of 5. Again you continue. And finally x plus y is to be evaluated. So after you evaluate x plus y, x is 10 and y is 5. So 10 plus 5, you get an answer of 15. So this 15 value will be the value of this entire thing. So 15 is then assigned to the variable value. So this will be the final answer. I'll repeat once again. What happens in a comma operator is that the entire expression is evaluated from left to right, and the rightmost expression is the answer or is the value of the combined expression. Okay, so in this case, when I am evaluating from left to right, the rightmost expression is this. What I mean by expression is a equation or any kind of an expression having variables or having operators in them. So this will be the rightmost expression, and the answer of this will be what will be assigned to this particular variable value. Let's take another example. Suppose say you declare a variable I. Okay, so int I is equal to 5, 10. So there are two values you see. Now what happens over here again? You go from left to right. You evaluate from left to right because there is a comma operator. And the rightmost value is assigned to this variable I. So rightmost value is 10. Hence 10 is assigned to this variable I. So this is how a comma operator works. Let's go on to the next type of operator. The next type of operator is size of operator. Now the size of operator is a compiler operator, and it is used with an operand whenever you need to know the number of bytes that operand occupies in the memory. So in the computer memory, whatever that particular operand takes, those many number of bytes you want to know, that's when you use this size of operator. Okay. Now what I mean by operand is, operand can be a variable, it can be a constant, or it can be any kind of a data type for which you can know the size of that particular operand in memory. So the size is normally returned in bytes. So it could be 2 bytes, it could be 4 bytes, it could be 1 byte, depending on the type of operand of whom you are finding the size of. And this is the syntax of writing it. So you use this size of operator, and in the bracket you write whatever operand of whom you want to find the size of. So this is sometimes used whenever we have something called as arrays and structures, which you will be learning in the further lectures, and when we are not knowing the size of this particular arrays and structures, that's when we make use of this size of operator.